Hello everyone, I'm Ben Kayla Tribunalo. I'm going to share my reflections about the life of Dr. Rizal. My first reflection is about the biographical sketches of Jose Rizal. Our national hero, Dr. Rizal, has a great deal of experience with life. He had many adventures in his journey to become our national hero. He's known as an intelligent child because of his early achievements. He had many siblings, but Jose Rizal was given greater importance than his siblings because of his ability. Rizal's family was an aristocratic, wealthy family. His father, Francisco Mercado Rizal, was a hardworking farmer who he referred to as a model of fathers, demonstrating how much his father loved him as well as how much his mother, Teodora Alonso Ina Quinto, a highly cultured and accomplished woman, cared for him. Despite his youth, Rizal already knew how to compose a poem at the age of 8. His poem is titled Sa Aking Mga Kabata, which revolves around the love of one's language. In 1877, at the age of 16, Rizal had already obtained his Bachelor of Arts degree with an average of excellence from Ateneo Municipal de Manila, which shows how amazing he was. In the same year, he enrolled in philosophy and letters at the University of Santo Tomas, while at the same time taking courses leading to the degree of surveyor and expert assessor at the Ateneo. In his early teens, Rizal had already achieved many achievements that showed his outstanding ability. After extensive travel in Europe, America, and Asia, he mastered 22 languages by the time he reached adulthood. These include Arabic, Catalan, Chinese, English, French, German, Greek, Hebrew, Italian, Japanese, Latin, Himalayan, Portuguese, Russian, Sanskrit, Spanish, Tagalog, and other native dialects. Rizal lived up to his reputation as a versatile genius who made those around him look ordinary. The life experience of Dr. Rizal inspires and motivates him because he already had many achievements before he became an adult. He shows how a knowledgeable person can help you grow and become more confident. I also observe how he places great importance on studying. Rizal's success served as a springboard for others to learn and dream big. My second reflection is about pragmatic education. According to what I have observed about Dr. Rizal, he is an intellectually gifted person who comes from a well-to-do family that values education. In his family, he was the only one of 10 siblings who had a chance to study in Spain, and to achieve this, many sacrifices were made. However, Rizal's time in Spain was not good because it coincided with Spain's decline, which continued throughout the second half of 19th century, in which Rizal lived from 1861 to 1896. Throughout Jose Rizal's journey in his education, he gained a lot of knowledge, which shows his ideals were a product encompassing all the teachings of what's known as the philosophy of enlightenment. Although this work of readings about enlightenment philosophers provides direct instruction, but indirectly they could be learned from public forums, saloon discussions, coffee shops, and Masonic lodges. So there were many things to learn from. This stage of philosophy marked the dawn of 18th century in Europe and continuing into the 19th century. It was about the friars' injustices and Spanish misrule. In Rizal's philosophy of education, he concentrates more on providing adequate motivation in order to enhance the great social forces that makes education successful and to implant in the youth an innate desire to improve their knowledge and offer them happiness. This concept taught me the importance of education as a stepping stone to prosperity for myself and my nation. My third reflection is about travels, frustrations, and disappointments. In one of his biographies, Dr. Rizal's life experience highlights all the good and bad things that happened to him in his life, especially when he started to travel in other countries. Rizal left the country in May 1882 to pursue further studies in abroad, which were in Spain. He enrolled in a course in medicine at the Universidad Central de Madrid. And in June 1883, he traveled to France to observe how medicine was being practiced there. After his 3-month sojourn in France, Rizal returned to Madrid and thought about publishing a book that exposed the colonial relationship between Spain and the Philippines. He wrote articles for publications in Manila and abroad, convened with overseas Filipinos to discuss their duty to the country. time called Spanish authorities institute reforms in the Philippines, such as granting freedom of press and Filipino representation in the Spanish Congress. After 5 years in Europe, he returned to Manila in August 1887. However, his homecoming was met by the friars' furor over Noli Me Tangere, so the Archbishop of Manila issued an order banning the possession and reading of the novel. An order that was later reinforced by the Governor General to avoid being persecuted. His family and friends urged him to leave the country because of the pressure from the Spanish authorities. I think the life is really unfair because Rizal was not given a chance to fight for his rights when he was going to be persecuted. He has many accomplishments, but the great things he accomplished were never realized until he was killed. He also admired Dr. Rizal Color to face death without hesitation, which proved that his love for his country and his people was so strong that he was not hesitant to escape but fought until the end. My fourth reflection is about an exiled life. It is clear that Rizal enjoyed traveling, especially to learn new things and share them with others. So upon his return to Manila on June 26, 1892, he was welcomed by Pulnario Mabini, Andres Bonifacio, Ambrosio Salvador, Pedro Serrano Lactao, and Deodato Arellano, who formed La Liga Filipina. They wanted to discuss the plan for La Liga Filipina, which was held in house in Cali, Ilana. Throughout 1894 and 1895, Rizal wrote letters to Governor General Ramon Blanco, who wanted his case reassessed. So Pimentel proposed that Rizal share his skills as a surgeon to Spanish government in Cuba in exchange for his exile being lifted. Cuba was also a Spanish territory at the time, and it was destroyed by yellow fever outbreak, so Governor General Ramon Blanco granted Rizal's request to visit Cuba on July 30, 1896. The greatest challenge in Rizal's life came when he was being exiled. But despite those struggles, he didn't express his desire to give up. Instead, he made so many achievements in those times and helped Filipino youths. His determination to live and love in a country is unwavering. This kind of person is truly recognizable, and a true definition of hero with unwavering personality. I can imagine how difficult life must have been for Rizal at the time. I truly pity him. He loves his country and has made some achievements to help his fellow Filipinos, but those things he did were not enough to qualify him for not being exiled. Lastly, my fifth reflection is about justice and death. At the time Rizal is on trial, the Spanish rulers' unfairness and misrule were in evidence. To put it simply, it was an obvious mistrial. Honestly, I believe that the Spanish authorities were expecting this to happen to Rizal. For a long time after he authored Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo, they wanted him in person and executed. They even sent a telegram to Attorney Hall Court requesting that he submit a petition of habeas corpus in Rizal's behalf, but it was instantly refused by the judge. Rizal was placed under interrogation for 5 days without knowing who testified against him, which was strange. They did not even allow Rizal to hire civilian counsel, instead allowing an army commander to represent him. This was unjust because the allegations against him were severe, and he needed the services of a lawyer to effectively defend himself. This is an unreasonable and inhumane treatment of Rizal. Now I recall how the law could be abused if it was used harmfully. It's been very devastating to learn the mistreatment of a person with improper ways of conducting the so-called allegations. If I were in Rizal's place, I certainly wouldn't know what to do because I'm not mentally or physically strong. Without doubt, I would give up. That's all. Thank you.